Hey, what's going on? I'm Illegal Mist, and today I'm going to be showing you how these champions are built so that you can complete Amius the Lunar Archon. Let's get right into it. Alright guys, for the builds, I'd recommend if you're watching this video within the first 24 hours, re-gear your champions, complete this content, and then put them back in whatever gear they had originally. But for the builds, really, for Pythion, he's just in the normal build that I have him in every day. 65k HP, almost 4k defense, 252 speed, and 569 resistance. The resistance doesn't matter. The speed, obviously, we want that to be as high as possible, but we want to be over 250. That's kind of the sweet spot that I found for cycling back through our abilities as fast as possible. The defense on him, because he's 2-star awakened, it might help a little to have defense, but again, the boss's big moves are going to be ignoring 100% of your defense, so you really just want to stack up the HP. Again, I was able to do this content without switching his gear, but if you're having some troubles, just get his HP as high as possible and you should be okay. The other benefit of getting Pythion's HP really high is he's going to heal whichever ally has the lowest HP by 5% of his health, so he's really going to be healing your team a lot. For the blessing, I put Polymorph on him before they nerfed it the first time, so just put whatever blessing you want, or it doesn't matter. For his masteries, I have him going down the defense and support tree, just in pretty standard PvP build. He goes down to resistance. If you're having any sort of issues, you could try Bulwark if he's not the one being targeted, or like really just whatever kind of masteries you think would help. But you'll see none of the masteries were changed specifically for this content. He even still has Cycle of Magic. For the Mithrala build, again, I didn't switch her build at all, so she's stuck in the gear that I use her in for Hydra mainly. She has about 70k HP, 3.4k defense, 287 speed, and her accuracy, of course, and resistance are kind of just built for PvE content, but she has 450 accuracy. So she has plenty to land her buffs and debuffs. Pythion and Mithrala both have Blood Shield accessories, but it doesn't matter having those. It's just the gear that I threw on the champions, so it doesn't matter. For her, I have Brimstone, and I really recommend having Brimstone on at least one of your champions that has high accuracy. It's going to make the content a lot faster. You saw the damage that it did was crazy, so definitely try and have that on one or as many champions as you can. And for her masteries, if I move out of the way, we can see she's in the pretty standard offense and support tree for a PvE champion, going down to War Master. She doesn't have Cycle of Magic, but you could see I had plenty of champions with stuff like that, and it didn't really matter. For Mighty Uko's build, I did switch him. Normally, he's in a Provoke set for Hydra, but I switched him into a higher HP, and it's actually a little bit slower than my other build. So for him, we're at 72k HP, 2.4k defense, 249 speed, and his accuracy is up to 441. So my typical Mighty Uko, I think, was sitting around 60k HP. I think he had somewhere around 3k defense and 270 speed, and the accuracy was a little too low. I'm not sure if that build would have worked, but because I needed to switch the accuracy to get it high enough so that he landed his debuffs, I just made sure to build him with enough HP as possible. He also has Brimstone, and like I said before, he's not fully booked. After watching that, though, I could really feel when his A1 wasn't landing the decreased attack. So if you can, try and book it out as much as possible, but mine's not, so it's not a big deal. Mighty Uko's also going down to the offense and support trees, grabbing War Master, like I said, for Hydra. He has Lifesteal or Life Drinker, which I don't really know if it matters too much, but it might have healed him a little. And he's also grabbing Cycle of Magic. So again, it throws off the tune a little bit. It can mess with your team a little, but we had the survivability that didn't really make a difference whether or not we had it. For Elva, I'm not sure that the Stalwart was 100% important, but I really do think having some sort of damage mitigation on one of your revivers is really important. Because she was in Stalwart, she effectively wasn't taking as much from the boss's AoE attack when he was in his damage dealing form, so I felt really comfortable with her staying alive the whole time. This build is normally for my Ice Golem 10 team, so it's really great being able to use her in both areas. She has 73k HP, 3.2k defense, 273 speed, and no resistance or accuracy. So if you're looking for a build for Ice Golem 10 hard, she and Artak can pretty much duo it. I also have in a Tyrant just because he also helps with the HP burns for that. We can see she also has the refresh banner here, which will throw off the tune a little bit. She's fully booked out. She doesn't have any blessings. And then she doesn't grab Cycle of Magic. So, hey, I guess that's one thing. She has a refresh banner, but she doesn't have that. And then she goes down the defense and support tree. Again, pretty standard masteries for a champion that you're using in either PvE content, like something like Ice Golem, or you can use her in some of your 3v3. And last but not least, the Venomage build. Again, this one, we just want to get that 70k HP mark. Venomage, I had to build a little bit more tanky. I just felt like they were dying a little bit easier than the other champions, and I'm not sure, they're not awakened at all, so maybe that's why. But 77k HP, 2.2k defense, 252 speed, and 450 accuracy. So she did really well. Again, she's fully booked out, and her masteries go down the offense tree, if I move out of the way, for the War Master, and again, going down pinpoint accuracy. All that doesn't pick up Cycle of Magic, which is pretty nice, but we could see, even with 2 champions with it and a refresh banner, it didn't mess with our runs too much. Okay, so let's go right into the run and see how it goes. So the main goal for the team roles, we have Mithrala coming in. Her primary goal is to place as many poisons as possible on the boss. We're gonna have the Elva and the Pythion with their cleanse and block debuffs. Mighty Uko, we want to land as many poisons, decreased attacks as possible. And then the Venomage, we want the poisons as well as the heal reduction. So what I'm doing right now, you can basically follow along with kind of what I'm doing if you have the same team setup. But what we want to make sure we do is have the block debuffs up for when the boss uses this Rampant Chaos ability. We are hoping that we land a decreased attack in the near future, but unfortunately we haven't yet with Mighty Uko. And once the boss uses that Rampant Chaos ability, we want to make sure that we land the heal reduction right after. Okay, so we do get the decreased attack, which is really nice because this next turn the boss is going to change forms, and that's where it can get a little dicey. So I'm going to wait to use Elva's cleanse and increase speed, just because the boss right here would have switched it to block buffs and a decreased speed. So nice, we get the decreased attack on the boss again. Elva once again just going in with the poisons. And yeah, the decreased attack is super, super important because we just want to make sure that we can keep our champions alive. If you're not able to land it with Mighty Uko, as long as you have a poison on the boss, you can use Venomage's A2. But I like to go in and just kind of use the A1 because you have a chance to explode the poisons on the boss, which I think is nice for making sure that you don't have too many buffs or debuffs on the boss. Going with that. Boss switched forms and used the stun ability. So now that this A3 is on cooldown, I'll go in once again and I'll place the heal reduction. And then the boss does have increased attack, but you can tell the boss is in the first form, which is the primarily healing form, because of this A1, the waxing potency, or what is it, waxing potence, or whatever it is. Regardless, it's not going to hit super, super hard. We do get the decreased attack, which kind of helped us a little bit. But we're fine right there. Pretty much whenever this Archon's Ascendance is on a 1 or on a 1 turn cooldown, that's when the boss is going to switch forms. So it's going to come up here where the boss is going to be doing a decent bit of damage to us. So what I can do, I'll throw on that, and then we get rid of the increased attack, and then I'll have Venomage go in with the decreased attack, just because we were getting a little low, and I want to make sure that we stay alive as much as possible. Just keep going, cycling through the abilities. The boss has this move on a 1 turn cooldown, but it switched forms. Alright, so we can see the boss didn't do too much damage because we had that decreased attack up. And then I'll go in with Elva's, just because I want that increased speed as well. Now, I'm going to save that ability just because I want to make sure I have it up in case he switches forms again. He does end up killing us, which is kind of unfortunate, but we should be able to bounce back here. The unfortunate thing is the boss is going to heal up a decent. And then what I'll do here, I can actually use the cleanse. And then I can get the revive. And then we might have... No, we don't have the increased speed, unfortunately. But the boss's move for removing the heal reduction is on cooldown. So luckily, the boss didn't heal up too much. Alright, the boss is going to switch forms. So I'm not going to use the increased speed and cleanse yet. Get as many poisons, and we get the smite, which is nice. And we have the decreased attack, so I don't need to use Venom Mage's move. Alright, we survived the smack. Get the cleanse. It would have been really nice to get that decreased attack here. So if I had gotten that, it would have been totally fine, and I think we would have been okay. But because I didn't, I think Pythion potentially might die, so I'll put the Strengthen on. Okay, nice. I think the Strengthen did help out a decent bit. And then I'm not going to use the heal reduction move, just in case the boss switches forms. I am going to use this, though. You don't get the decreased attack again. Man, my Mighty Uko, I might need to book him because he only has a 50% chance on the A1. Alright, so again, it's a little difficult to tell which form the boss is in, but just look at the A1 and we see he's in the healing form that's less likely to deal a lot of damage. But I am going to strip that increased attack because last time it did a decent bit of damage to us. And then that moves on cooldown, so I'll use the A3. I'll save the cleanse, don't need it. Boss hits us, get the decreased attack, which is nice. Not going to switch forms this next time, so we should be good. And then I'm not sure if he's going to use this Rampant Chaos or if he's going to use his form switch. But just for the sake of it, I'll use the increased attack move. And then Pythion has his. And I don't think we're going to kill the boss here. And then, so one thing to note too, when the boss switches forms, he'll switch forms, he'll take a turn, and then he'll attack again. You really want to have a 2-turn decrease attack. So because we landed that, I think we're safe. I think we got this run under wraps. Because you could see right there, the boss did have that one turn where he landed the, where he had the decrease attack when he attacked us. Oh man, very unfortunate. Super close there, but not a huge deal. The boss should... He used that. We'll revive. Get the cleanse. He should do the stun ability right here. Maybe. Nope, he switched forms because he didn't have any decreased defense or decreased attacks. So yeah, very unfortunate because we were super close to winning that. And then what we can do, we'll have Mighty Uko do the revive. We'll get the cleanse. The increased speed. Decrease attack. And then heal reduction. And we'll start it all over again. So even though it didn't work out, because of the way the team's set up, we're pretty fortunate with how we're able to kind of like keep doing all that stuff. The one thing that does stink, getting the strengthen on our champions can turn into that weaken sometimes. So yeah, it just really depends on the RNG that you get. Sometimes it can work out in your favor, but other times you kind of just get pretty unlucky with how things go. Like you could see we were one turn away, a couple extra non 3% resist, and we would have been fine. Alright, so I think the boss will potentially use that move if we get a decreased attack or decreased defense on him. But because we don't have those, I don't think he'll use it. Okay, he did use it, which is good. Then we'll put the heal reduction on. Get him back. More poisons. So yeah, it's literally just a game of trying to make everything work well. And the reason it's not working as smoothly as it probably should be, I didn't change any masteries on my champions, and I even have Elva still in a... We'll put the decreased attack up. Elva's still in a refresh banner, so that's also potentially messing with the cooldowns of the boss's passive. Alright, hopefully he doesn't smack us here too hard. Now, I don't understand why he does that, but whatever. Alright, we'll revive Mighty Uko. Oh, I didn't realize he had his skill on cooldown already. Throw up the cleanse. Nice. Heal up a little bit, and then throw the decrease. Oh, we didn't get the heal reduction, which is really unfortunate. Try and land the decreased attack with Venom Mage when we can. Sweet. Yeah, I don't understand why the boss is doing that, but it could be just like a refresh proc or something happening. Get everyone back up. Hopefully Elva can go before the boss does. Okay, she did, but unfortunately she doesn't have her move on ready. But we can use this cleanse. Get the decreased attack for once. Throw this up again. And keep it going. Oh my gosh. Oh, and the boss didn't die there because he had his Eclipse buff on. So, pretty unfortunate timing there. So we got to work it all the way back around again. Okay, so right now the boss still has one turn of this Eclipse buff on, and I don't want him to die with it on. So instead of putting more poisons, I'm going to use the Strengthen from Mithrala. And I think I might do this to see if he changes forms. Okay, sweet. So he does change form, which is really good for me. I'll cleanse that off, throw up some more poisons, and then if we land this heal reduction, we should win this. Finally, after 15 minutes. But it's actually really fun. The really cool thing about this team, of course, is how survivable they are. Throw up the increase speed. I just got to make sure if we get a refresh proc or something, it might mess us up, but I think we're okay. All right, sweet. We got it done. All right, so my first time was much faster than that. Of course, it was only 6 minutes, 43 seconds, but we can see there it went really smoothly. Like I said, we had a bunch of champions die, but because of the way we built them, they're able to survive. Elva, really the MVP here, just staying alive over and over again, and then you just choose whether you want to revive Pythion or Uko based on who has their revive back or the kind of scenario that you're in. But this is like, I mean, I have, what, 4 awakening stars on this? So really, this is such an easy way to do it. All right, guys, that is the team that I have for you. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I tried a couple different teams, and I felt like there was a couple that were really close to getting there, but my clanmate Cryptic made this team, so huge shout out to Cryptic. This team is really accessible in my opinion. I literally got all of these champions, other than Venomage, in some sort of guaranteed way that the game had. Definitely Venomage is the MVP here. You need someone that can have that heal reduction. The poisons is probably going to be your best bet, and then everything else from there is going to be a way to keep your team alive. So you really want cleansers and block debuffs if you can, and you also need that decreased attack so the boss doesn't one-shot your champions. I tried a couple champions like Krisk and Gnishak, and I think Gnishak is a really, really good champion here if you can build him properly, but I was running into the issue of his poisons landing too much, and we weren't able to land the decreased attack, and I found the teams didn't work super, super great with him. You might be able to slot him in here, though, for Mithrala instead. It'd be kind of interesting to see, actually. But boom, hey, we did it. All right, so hey, Gnishak actually coming in and doing better than Mithrala. Okay, so, I mean, obviously, you should have Mithrala, but if you don't, you can look at Gnishak as a pretty interesting solution to, having that kind of champion in there. Anyone that gives you the extra damage, that's kind of the role that Mithrala is filling. And if your other champions are able to go in and do a decent bit of support around Venomage and whoever that person is in that slot, then you should be fine. So, yeah, definitely the, again, kind of idea behind the team. You want cleansers to be able to keep your team moving. The increased speed from Elva is great. You want revivers. So you really, I don't know exactly, but you want champions that are able to revive, able to cleanse. You go in, you can look through at the best teams in here and see who has some of the best teams. So we're actually in 13th right now, which is even better than the other team. So that's really cool. But yeah, that team worked out really well. I don't know if anyone's using that exact one either. So this team's kind of cool. Pretty interesting having in the Wukong. Not sure exactly what he's doing there. But yeah, you can see everyone's got some sort of cleanser in there and then a reviver as well. But yeah, look through these teams. I'm sure by the time this video goes live, I'll be, way, way wherever, and I won't even be close to the top of the leaderboards. But for now, we get to look at it and bask in the glory. But yeah, definitely look at those teams. If you guys like this kind of video, please let me know in the comments below. This took a great amount of effort. Huge shout out to Cryptic once again. You are the man. I really appreciate all the help. And if you guys are enjoying this kind of content within the Cursed City, definitely keep doing it. You should be able to get some good stuff. And hey, let's use our one summon really quick and see what we get. Maybe a mythical, who knows? Nope. A Boro. I think I do have a Boro already. All right, guys, that's everything I've got today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.